Okay. I think we're live. Hey there, ED. Hey, Mark. You guys are here early. So today, so I just finished the last issue of The Lonesome Hunter's Wolfchild. Turned it in, got all the pages scanned and cleaned up and everything. So I am too spun out to draw tonight. So I thought I would show off a few of the pages that have already been shown online in like a sneak preview thing, and yeah, and then we'll see. I might do a little sketchbook tour. Depends on how much time we got. Yeah. So this is the splash page for Lonesome Hunter's Wolfchild #1, and it is like directly inspired by Fredrick Remington's night paintings, which I went ahead and grabbed some. If you've never seen these before, Fredrick Remington did these amazing paintings of night scenes. And they have like, a lot of them have this like blue-green cast to them. Thanks, Mark. So I wanted to try to get a little bit of this vibe with this opening scene. And like, I'm no Fredrick Remington, so I didn't totally hit it, but it's a little bit of that vibe there. And then this being Lonesome Hunters, there's a lot more yellow going on in the scene. Particularly happy, I think, with, I don't know how well it'll show up on camera, but like just the gradient on this dude's face, I think turned out really nice. Very satisfying. Hey, Kelly. Hey, Pippy Pop. We're looking at the very first scene in The Lonesome Hunters, Wolfchild #1. And yeah, like, I just really love this green night scene. It comes back a little bit through the series. Big fan of that. Probably something I'll bring back a lot as the series continues. Using green for night. But it's a very warm green. A lot more warmer than the Fredrick Remington stuff. Like, you can see how blue his stuff is compared to what I'm doing. Like, the comparison between this and this is pretty clear. But yeah, so that's that. And look at this. This is 88 pages. Is that right? No. 20, 21. So 84 pages. Because the double page spreads are in another pile on the other side of the room. But that's a fun stack. Yeah, those PDFs are rough just because trying to get them at a size that makes them easy to email. I probably need to come up with, a better way to share them so I can people can download the higher res version. And I'm also always, like, just a little bit disappointed, like, the colors are never quite I do a lot of work trying to get them to match what's on the actual paper, but it never it's never the same. Once you translate it to CMYK, like, the pigments just don't really convert the same. So I am just, yeah, just being a weirdo now. Because whenever I finish a project, like, there's a huge part of my brain that's been dedicated to this one task for the last 2 months, and now it's over, and I, don't know what to do with myself. I got a couple things lined up for the next couple months, but, I am very hopeful that we can get back to the Lonesome Hunters world ASAP. This is, Pippi, this is the whole run of the Lonesome Hunters Wolf Child. The entire Lonesome Hunters would be a pile twice this thick. Well, that's good, Mark. Like, I try really hard to match them, and some pages match better than others. Like, some pages I'm able to get, scanned and color corrected just exactly right. Well, very close to right. But, a lot of my newer pages, especially, like, I'm getting, more saturation out of my, watercolors, and that's hard to get. It's hard to get, like, the correct colors and when you're working very saturated. Things that are kinda grayish work great. So with that, I thought maybe it would be very fun to do an old sketchbook tour. Yeah, it's so weird, Mark, that greens are so hard to get right digitally. There's something about the like I don't even know what it is. There's something about digital greens that are really hard to get right. They don't like sort of mid-saturated greens. Like they love glowing yellowy green colors. Like digital monitors and iPads and stuff love those glowy green colors, but they don't like sort of the mid saturation point. They're fine with like grays and stuff, like grayish greens, but yeah. So this is a sketchbook that I had. What is it? It's from 2007. So this guy's pretty old, and it's a little tiny guy. I don't know if you guys remember the last sketchbook I was showing that was all painted in and had oil painting and shit in it even. This is very similar, kind of around the same time. I think a little bit earlier, but this was one of the very first sketchbooks where I was trying hard to actually do like just a fancier, more intentional sketchbook thing. And it got eaten by my dog Metatron. That's why it's all chewed up. And this is a portrait of Metatron. He was my first dog that we got probably in like 2005, something like that. I don't know who this guy is. He looks like it's sort of like a British politician to me, but I think he's just made up. Oh, look, this wasn't even intentional, but these are some copies of Frederick Remington paintings. I forgot those were in here. And the seal, I think this was from a photo. And this is like inking with a pit pen with watercolor, like a brush tip pit pen. They're pretty awful. I don't know why I used them for as long as I did. Here's a little Frankenstein with his heart t-shirt. And this says this is what a cuckoo bird looks like. And I don't know if I believe that. This is definitely taken from a photo, though. And a little dick. These guys are cute. Cute little goobers. This is a great size of a sketchbook to do stuff like this, because you can do like drawings that feel very finished, but because they're so small, you can do it like, just sitting down in front of the TV in a night. In fact, I think that's how I did most of these. I think these were all just one page a night, um, in front of the TV. More of these little bee dudes. I really like these guys. I should come up with something to do with them. I don't know what drove me to draw Henry Kissinger, but there he is. That bastard. This is like a lot of those. This is like a comic that you start not knowing what you're gonna do, and you end up not doing anything with it, and it's still kind of funny. Thanks, Pippi. I'm a big fan of the bee dude. Little John Adams. I was doing a lot of skating back then. This was before I broke my wrist skating, and then I had a hard time working for a couple weeks and sort of stopped since then. But this is sort of prescient. This is the story of dang, what's his name? The guy who wrote Unbeatable Squirrel Girl, Ryan North. He got caught. He got caught in a skate park in a pool once and couldn't get out. He was on Twitter trying to brainstorm ways to get out. Yeah, Pibby, that's how you learn. That's how you learn how to drop in. I see all these videos on like Instagram of like dads teaching their kids how to drop in, and I'm always like, man, I wish I had that. I just had to fall until I figured it out. Here's Yao, our old cat with the zoomies. I don't know what this guy's doing. I'm not quite sure what that even says. Boar? Lore? This guy's pretty cool though. Little beardo. This might have been from that. I don't know if anybody's seen those books called Fruits that are like Japanese street fashion. I think that's where this lady's from. A guy in a trench coat, probably a little bit prescient of Lonesome Hunters. I like the detective in a trench coat look. It's a good look. Thanks, Edie. Yeah, I think dudes in crumpled trench coats like Columbo style are amazing. It's like the perfect character design for just about any comic book character. Any of them. Green Lantern, give him a crumpled trench coat. Yeah, this is definitely from that Fruits book. You can see how bad this moleskin paper is though for watercolor. Like it's like kind of greasy or something. Like it resists the watercolor a little too much. And then when it does accept it, it like really sucks it in and it's terrible. It's a little Shea Guevara. A little hand. I think I was looking through a book of like communist um, propaganda stuff. S- Like I don't know, like this is probably from that. The Shea is probably from that. Just I don't know why Lenin is crying about his tanks there, but he didn't like it. I think this was from a photo of a horse making this face with that tongue and lips going everywhere. And this is an old comfy chair we used to have. Although it had like an embroidered flower design on the back there, but I just was too lazy to draw it. Thanks, Kelly. That horse is fun. I need to do. I have a friend nearby with horses, and I need to talk to him about letting me go out and draw their horses so that I can say that I can do it. Horse. This is Kirby, obviously. These are just like random dudes. Brainwaves. A nude. I'm not sure what this one's from. I feel like I had to have been looking at a photo, but I do not remember. And this is like using my highlighter pen for this orange stuff. That guy's kind of funny. I don't know why I wrote elephant fucker there, but that's where we are. Hey, Letterhack. Horses are fun to draw, man. They're the only reason why they're hard is because they're one of those animals where you kind of think you know what they look like, but as long as you have a photo reference to work from, like they're really fun to draw. They're very interesting animals. So are elephants. So are people. So is monkeys. I think that's supposed to be Walt Disney. This is a pretty good chimpanzee. I ended up really hating those pit pens by the time I stopped using them. But for a long time, they were my go-to, and I was kind of making them work. And a lot of this writing the same word over and over and over was just me trying to learn how to do some lettering, and so I'd just pick a word and do a bunch of different letter treatments on it. I do not know what kind of pen I was using for this. It was probably like a green Sharpie, like the fine point Sharpies. That might Pippi, to answer your question, that might be supposed to be the same detective. I don't think. Where'd he go? I don't think it's the same guy. They both have kind of a nose thing going on, but different kind of nose thing. It does look like he's wearing a dirty trench coat, though. I have not read enough Tintin, Mark, to remember what Hergé's horses looked like. I imagine they would have been good. Like, he was good at drawing cars. And I know that a car is not a horse, but they sort of are the difficult to draw in a similar way. And I love those old Disney cow characters. So weird. This time using one of those a brown pit pen. Decorative vomit. Oh, I got you, Mark. Yeah, I love it when people do that. I tried really hard in my BPRD. Phoenix had that dog. I forget the name of the breed right now. But I always tried really hard to make sure the dog was like acting appropriately like a dog, but also reacting to the situation that they were in. I loved it. This is a great little comic about the devil. Wait, how do we go? It's lunchtime, but I shan't eat. No. Again, just one of those comics where I was just drawing a comic to put panels together, not because I had an idea or anything. Yes, a very, very mellow, unambitious devil. Here's a bad horse. I like this elephant. I feel like I probably tried to copy that elephant from somewhere. It's like a space dude. Here's some wren. I had a I did a couple animated things around the same time with a dude in a bunny suit that kinda looked like this. Wonder if I can find those animations anywhere. They're probably long gone. Here's a little Metatron with his silhouette. Man, I love that dog. He's sort of a German Shepherd mix. This is a good Donald Duck. This guy's cool. Like, I really like I was saying how bad this paper is, but every once in a while it does something really nice with sort of mid-tones. It works really well with, and I don't know exactly why. But I like that little painting. He's kind of a sailor guy. And this whale is awesome. It's like ready to fight you. He's like those orcas, they're sinking ships. I don't think that's a barbar elephant, Pippi. I think. What does Barbar look like? He doesn't. Babar? I don't think he looks like that. This guy looks like he might have been somebody's elephant logo. Like a old car wash or something would have this guy for a logo. Yeah, I haven't read a Babar comic for forever, or I guess there were storybooks, not comics, but I loved those when I was a kid. I think this guy was kind of inspired by Pinocchio, that whale in Pinocchio, but I put a hat on him. I like that drawing a lot, actually, now that I'm looking at it more. Good work, Tyler. Here's a brain peeing. It's a little stomach. Here's some more of the devil stuff. This guy looks like he could be the devil. It's a good version. I actually didn't look through this very closely. I hope these aren't too very embarrassing. This is dumb, but this is totally me from like drawing a comic book about when I was in high school. I was a very poor student in high school. This guy's kind of cool. I like the way he fits on that page. Like he totally fills it up. I don't know what this hand is supposed to be though. It's just like a lump. Same with this one. This is another portrait of Metatron, a more stylized one. It's not a very good likeness, but it's got his vibe. This is me trying to do like a pus head texture. If you're unfamiliar with Pushead, he's a great artist. Known for doing a lot of skateboard deck art. And I think he did a Metallica album cover. These guys are fun. This is like a playing with microns. Trying to get just a more interesting kind of line with these little dots. Would be kind of fun to do a whole thing like that. Worst B-man, that's true. This is clearly from a photo. It says Joan Crawford. That's nice though. Again, man, I don't know how I made like good art with those pit pens. Those are just awful. This is from a movie poster, I think. I think it's from The Boots of Destiny. Have to look it up and see. It's a good horse, making a freaked out horse face. This guy's pretty great. I missed some of the comments. I'm going back. Like, did Babar didn't wear like a top hat, did he? I thought he only wore a crown. Hey, we made it to the end. That's that tiny sketchbook. Blarm. Yeah, so I stopped using moleskins a while back just because their paper is awful. It's like really not like, and this is their sketchbook. This is like intended for doing art in, and it's just not good paper. Nowadays, I use a. Let me grab one. So the sketchbook I use now is called Handbook. It's got a nice cloth cover. Got a pocket in the back, but the paper in these is really just extraordinary. I think it's made or distributed by Pentel, guys who make like pen nibs and lettering supplies. Yeah, Edie, I think moleskins are overpriced for what they are. But when they first came out, like in 2007, there was really no competition. They were the only people making these sort of nice lie flat books that like nobody else was making. Even like sketchbook companies weren't making a book that would lay flat. And now there's like this guy will lay flat really nice. Maybe actually probably not as nice as the moleskin, but good enough. All right. Well, it's kind of a short stream tonight, but I think I'm going to call it quits. I am. Yeah, I'm ready to finally play some Zelda and have like a weekend of not thinking about making comics. Maybe that's not going to happen. It's not going to happen, but maybe. All right. Well, thanks again, everybody, for coming and hanging out for a little bit. That was nice. I hope you aren't disappointed that it's so short. But I'll see you next week, and we'll probably draw some stuff next week. Yeah. So tell the people that you love how much you love them, and have a great weekend. And I'll talk to you guys in a week.